In day one of this two-day National Transportation Safety Board hearing, first responders said that they had just 13 minutes to decide to vent and burn those tank cars. The East Palestine fire chief says that he was blindsided by the timeline of that decision. Joining me now is a member of the Unity Council for the East Palestine Train Derailment organization, Hilary Flint. Hilary, welcome back, and thank you for being here. I know that you're watching this hearing and the investigative details being released online. There's a lot to digest. I mean, we're talking about thousands of pages of investigative documents. What's been your biggest takeaway as you're watching this?
Yeah. Hi, Marni. Thanks for having me again. I think, my biggest takeaway has been that Norfolk Southern seemed to withhold some information that would have really affected how, we can't say that it would change the decision to vent and burn, but it could have. And I think as I watch what's going on, I have more compassion for some of the government officials that were involved in that decision. And I continue to be more disgusted by Norfolk Southern's lack of information sharing. They're doing the same thing to the House Democrats right now, some documents they've asked for. And I think after this, like I said, some compassion for people that had to make these decisions and outrage against Norfolk Southern.
Let's talk about the heart of your disgust. What do you think that they are holding back Norfolk Southern in the investigation?
Well, yesterday it was confirmed that the owners of the tanks that had the vinyl chloride, they had told them that the process of polymerization could not be happening. And the reason the vent and burn went through is because the polymerization would have been dangerous. So if the decision makers had that knowledge, it's very likely that they would have made different decisions. There would have been different considerations. So for Norfolk Southern to have that information and not bring it to the decision makers, I think, in my opinion, I think that's criminal.
What other questions do you still have that haven't been answered about the critical moments following the crash?
Um, right now it seems like a lot of answers are coming out that we've been waiting for. Before it was really hard to figure out who made that final decision. And really, the answers I have now are more so about how do we make sure that this doesn't happen to another community again? And how do we take care of the people that were affected by this derailment and the vent and burn? The NTSB, of course, can't really help with the latter, but we can be working with them as community members to make sure some of these railroad safety laws go beyond just being their recommendation. We want to help make sure that those things get put into place.
I know you're reading a lot, your ears are open, and you're listening to everything that's being said. At the end of this, you're going to be an expert on all of this and train derailments. One of the preventative measures, Hilary, that they're talking about is the hot bearing detectors to be placed closer together to then increase the likelihood of finding an overheated situation sooner. Is that just one of many steps? Do you think that's an important component for prevention?
Yeah, of course. I think that would have, we can't say it would prevent the derailment, but I think it possibly could have. So I will always support anything that is going to put health and safety above profit. And I think that's a great first recommendation. And I think there will be more to come. And the Unity Council is prepared to work with anyone who is going to really champion these recommendations and turn them into official regulations.
You mentioned the NTSB is limited in what they can say, but what has been left out of this so far is addressing the important health and safety of the residents impacted by this disaster. What do you and your team that you have organized hope to learn, and what questions do you want answered on that front in the days ahead?
A lot of when it comes to health and safety, that's really going to be our government is going to be the one leading that charge. They can send the bill to Norfolk Southern, but we need our government to step up and help ensure that we're getting independent testing. We have opportunity for medical monitoring with our own doctors, not just a clinic set up in town. So our next steps will be to push for DeWine to declare that state of emergency officially. And if he can't do that, give us, help us figure out what is the next step. So we're really going to be continuing to put pressure on the EPA and state and federal government.
And we'll help you as you continue to put that pressure on. Hilary Flint, thank you as always.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much, Marni.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.